The increasing tension between Ecowas countries and the Niger Republic over the return to civil rule by the military junta is giving Katsina, one of the neighboring states to Niger, a lot of concern. Governor Dikko Umar Radda is worried that the sanctions imposed is already causing hardship among the people. And TVC News correspondent Abdulatif Yusuf reports.
This gathering is a selection of ulamas from all the wards and local governments of the state, and prayers are said to seek Allah's favor to overcome the worries of the time. It is one of the activities that the state government has organized to seek a solution to hardship brought about by sanctions imposed on neighboring Niger Republic by Ecowas.
The aim of our stay here is to pray to Almighty Allah and to pray to Almighty Allah to bring peace to our nation and to our state in general. And we also want to pray to Almighty Allah the problem that exists between Ecowas, Nigeria in particular, and Niger Republic.
The prayers also seek God's intervention by way of bringing reason to the minds of the military junta in Niger to open up for diplomatic options. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not ruled out dialogue in bringing matters in Niger to an amicable solution, by the activation of the Ecowas standby force has ominous implication if talks break down irretrievably.
We want us to join us in praying for our leaders, for our country, and for the peaceful coexistence in the country and in our state in general.
The tension on the both sides of the Katsina-Niger border is high due to hikes in price of goods and other effects brought about by the border closure. Recently, attacks on communities in Katsina State have generated a lot of talks and have compelled the state government to meet with all stakeholders once again to find a way out. It is now clear the path that Dikko Umar Radda administration has chosen to follow, which is to empower communities to protect themselves rather than to wait another year without a solution to their problems. Abdulatif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.
I am being joined on the news by Project Manager, Field Office, Tier Fund in Yola, Mr. Ilugo Cletus. Good to have you join us, Mr. Cletus. Let's begin with the concern raised by the governor about the plight of the people in Katsina State. When you put this side by side with the removal of fuel subsidy, one can understand that this is heightened pressure on the people. What should government be doing to ameliorate the plight of the people in these communities?
Yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, listeners and viewers on TV. Yeah, it is important for us to understand that this is a twin hardship, if not properly managed. The government needs to, at this point, quickly intervene in providing succor to the citizens of Nigeria that are living in those border communities. One of such is to enhance resilience, because as it is now, the economic situation of those communities are already in jeopardy. And so that will also increase hardship in addition to fuel subsidy removal. So the government needs to supply food now, because between these two countries, there is inter-country trades moving from both sides, from Nigeria to Niger and Niger back to Nigeria. So this is also very key. But with the closure of the border, there is a cutoff. Those coming from Niger to Nigeria and those leaving Nigeria to Niger. So there is a huge challenge to our trade between these two countries. So there is need for government to create other avenues to ensure that the locals increase their economic activities along those borderlines. And again, added to that fact is that the government should beef up security, because when it becomes biting on both sides, there may be escalation of violence, which may not also speak well for Nigeria as a country. Thirdly, the citizens should also be supported financially in any case that the government can afford, so that there will be deeper trading between those Nigerian citizens at the borderline down into the country, for those things, those essentials they ordinarily would have gotten from Niger. But with this border closure, those things may not be necessarily available. So it is important for government to look in this direction and enhance security, because one of the challenges in this part of the country is insecurity, which is also limiting the ability of Nigerians living along this borderline to carry out their trade. So government has a lot to do, and government need to think through these strategies.
And let's talk about the role that government has to play. You have highlighted some of them, because this particular concern was raised by the state governor. But I was going to ask you, what role should state government and the local government should be playing at this time? Because it seems that, all eyes are at the center.
No. Government Nigeria has a three-tier system of government: the local, the state. At this point in time, the federal has more of external security. The state has a duty to do what? To ensure that the citizens are well off. The well-being of the citizens are what? Enhanced. The state need to carry out local palliative, statewide palliative, to ensure that the economic activities of the people there are what? Enhanced. Additionally, it is also important, in my own view, that the state government may consider relocation of those citizens hinterland from those border communities to ensure that their safety and security is enhanced, again, to safeguard them and secure them from external aggression and attack. At the local level, the local government should as well think through of how to enhance local vigilante to provide security and ensure that the food crops, the farming activities of these people are also safeguarded, because issues around this, even criminals internally can take advantage of this situation and begin to unleash mayhem. So these are the some of the activities that the local, the state will do in this particular area before the federal can come to their aid. This is my own view.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Project Manager, Field Office Tier Fund in Yola, Mr. Elugo Cletus.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for the privilege. God bless.